Barcelona, step forward, please.
Lynn Underwood was driving along when a rock hit her car. The Barcelona's son admits he threw it, but the Barcelonas say prove it.
Order, all rise. Yeah, this is case number 61 on the calendar in the matter of Underwood versus Barcelona. Judge, the parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Have a seat, please. Have a seat.
You didn't know each other before this incident, is that right?
Correct.
Right.
Miss Underwood, your complaint states that this young man over here damaged your car with a rock.
Correct.
And was damaged, how much was the damage to the car?
Okay, I have 3 estimates here, and one of them was for $439.78.
So why did you sue for $589?
The rental car, also, for having the rental when my car is being fixed, it's going to take 3 to 4 days.
Did you have your car fixed yet?
No, I did not.
No. Bird, would you get the estimates for me?
Yes.
What's your name?
Ryan.
Ryan? Come on up here, Ryan.
Step up right there. Yeah.
Sit all the way back. How old are you, Ryan?
9.
You know who I am?
Judge.
You know I'm like a truth machine, Ryan, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know that.
Yes.
Tell me about this rock.
Well, it was the size of this big right here.
Uh-huh.
I threw it up in the air, and I tried to hit the parachute.
There was a parachute stuck in the tree.
Yeah,
So you took a rock and you tried to knock the parachute out?
yeah. I missed the parachute.
And what happened?
It went over the wall at my house, and
So it went over the wall. Yeah.
yeah,
And what happened?
I heard it hit something.
You know what it hit?
No.
Hit her car. Now, there came a time when your mom and dad asked you if you threw a rock?
I forget.
Well, tell me about the conversation you had with your mom or dad.
Well, my dad was at work, and my mom was there.
And what'd she say to you and what'd you say to her?
I was trying to get my parachute out of the tree, and I missed, and I think I hit the car.
And what'd your mom say?
I forget that, too.
Okay.
Step this way. Right. You're good.
I mean, I went to this side first in order to find out for myself because your answer sort of suggests to me that they can't prove it was your son who hit their car with a rock. And there's no point in my hearing this whole story when I could find out from a 9-year-old. They usually tell me the truth. So now you know he hit their car with a rock. So you're responsible, right?
I don't believe, and he is nervous right now, but he had told me, Mommy, I don't know where it hit. There was a noise. We're talking a little 9-year-old boy with a little tiny rock on some branches. He's trying to get the parachute up, so you have to jump up. When you jump up, it comes down. If it even went 50 feet, even, it would have come down. It would have went sideways. There is no way.
Barcelona. I'm going to hear their side of the story, but I want you to just pay attention to what you're doing. Your own son ran into the house afterwards because he knew he hit something. I may not be telling me the entire thing because he knew he hit something. He knew he hit something because the car probably screeched to a stop. Something happened, so he came running into the house because he was frightened, because he knew he hit something. Now, you think that maybe something else hit her car just at about the same time as this rock came down?
No, you're not.
Come on.
I don't. I asked my son, did you hit her car? And he said, no.
That's
I
not
don't
what
know where it hit. That is
He didn't
exactly
say-
what he said to me.
No, he didn't say no.
Yes, I'm telling you, that's
Then
exactly
you should
what he
have gone,
said to me.
Then, Miss Barcelona, you should have gone further and say, how do you know the rock didn't hit her car?
Judge Judy will be right back. Lynn Underwood was driving along when a rock hit her car. The Barcelona's son admits he threw it, but the Barcelonas say prove it.
Miss Underwood, you want to tell me what happened, please?
Sure. I had just taken my son to preschool and was on my way taking my daughters to school. As we were driving by, you could see, because her house is on a corner, that the kid was doing something, trying to get something out of the tree. And as I went by and I turned my head forward, I hear this bang against the car. And I knew that where it had come from, because he was the only one out there in the front yard. So anyway, I went around the block, I pulled up into the front yard, and I got out of my car, and the little boy comes up to me and goes, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. And I told him that was fine.
Did you say that, Ryan? Did you run up and say, I'm sorry?
Yes.
Anyhow, so I go, I know you're sorry, and I know you didn't do it on purpose, but I go, look what you did to my car. I go, so I need to talk to your mom. So that's when I proceeded to go to the door, and his mom came out and came to the door, and we came out to the car, and I showed her, and I said, this is what happened to the car. And she told me, kids will be kids. I don't know why they do what they do. And I go, that's fine. I go,
Not true.
Yes,
You came
You were
yelling,
screaming.
this has happened before. And I said, with my son? And you said, no, but I'm sick of it. Someone's going to pay this time. That is word for word what you said. And I said, I will not be responsible for something that I don't believe happened. Show me your car. And there was some paint chippings. And I said, they look rusted. And then I said, there's not even a dent. And you said, well, this is what your son did. And I said, how do I know that? How do I know that this little rock actually made in different spots? We get this estimate of almost $400 and something dollars.
Let me see the car.
We find out that she lives on a gravel road with by trails. Took us 2 days to find it with the fire department helping us. It's a 7-year-old car.
Why
We
don't you
live in the
learn-
hot desert sun. I don't believe that this rock did that damage, Your Honor.
So anyway,
you-
I'm sorry.
Hey, Mr. Barcelona.
I'm sorry.
I want you and your wife to take a lesson from your 9-year-old son. He's smarter than you two are. He's smarter. I'm going to tell you why. Because as soon as this happened, he acknowledged to me, that means he admitted to me in front of you, that he ran up to this lady's car and said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, it was an accident. Absolutely the right thing to say. And then let me tell you what lesson he gets from his parents. He was throwing a rock, it was an accident, he didn't mean to hurt their car, he certainly didn't mean to cause any damage. So he must have had good training from somewhere. Goes up, I'm not sure, because I'm sitting here listening to you, and I'm not sure where he gets the good manners from, because he ran up to the lady who caused the damage, whose car he damaged, and he said, I'm sorry, it was an accident, please forgive me. And then what he hears his parents doing is making excuses, finding the house where they live, going out and checking trajectory to see if it could possibly happen. He knows that the little rock, that it wasn't a big rock. I saw the damage. It was a small pebble, as he said it was. He was telling me the whole truth. But then he listens to the adults who were supposed to set an example for him, make a whole bunch of excuses. So the Barcelonas are going to pay for this damage. You're a very nice young man, Ryan, and you did the right thing. Right? You apologized and you did the right thing. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $400. That's all.
Why does that excuse you may step out?
And one little rock this big couldn't have done 4 and 5 scratches and a dent. There's no way.
No, I know it wasn't intentional. It was an accident.
I think we're dealing with a nut case here.
We contested where it hit and what kind of damage it could have
If
done.
we were
That's what we
responsible for that
contested.
amount of damage.
We did not contest that he didn't throw the rock. He wasn't even there. We didn't say that.
And now, the next case.
Party's on Barton versus Vincente. Would you step forward, please?
Zachary Barton was walking with her boyfriend when a dog came out of nowhere and a cat fell from the sky. She says Lisa Vincente should pay.
Judges number 72 on the calendar in the matter of Barton versus Vincente. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated.
It's a first for me. Ms. Barton, you're suing for medical bills as a result of being injured when the defendant's cat fell on your head.
Yes.
The defendant's answer suggests that she's not responsible because people don't own cats. They just sort of live with them.
Yes.
So let's hear it from the beginning. Tell me how this happened.
Well, her dog is also involved. It was quite an evening for us. It was a Monday night, and we were walking home from our friend's house, and we just had
Wait.
my boyfriend Michael and I, and we just had to walk one block. We didn't have to cross any streets. It was a pretty safe event, we thought. And we got about 2 houses away from our friend's house, and this dog came charging toward us and scared me to death. I kind of hid behind Michael, and we kind of scooted off to the side of the sidewalk. And then we saw the owners coming toward us, the defendant. And they were walking toward us, and they didn't say anything to the dog, which surprised me. And I wasn't sure that they were with the dog. And I asked, "Is that your dog?" And they were walking by, and I think it was the guy that was with the defendant, and I think he said yes. And they just kept walking. I was like, "Well, that's really nice." And
what kind of dog was this? Shh. What kind of dog was this?
it was a shepherd dog, a sheepdog of some sort.
Is that a dog that you have?
It's a 30-pound Australian Shepherd Border Collie.
Okay.
Yeah.
You remember this incident?
Not exactly how she says it, but yeah, exactly. I do
And the dog
remember.
wasn't on a leash?
No,
Big mistake.
he was on the porch.
He wasn't on the porch when he came up to them.
He didn't run after them.
Go ahead.
Okay, so they walked by, and we kind of shrugged it off, so we kept walking. And we got about 5 houses down, and right when we passed a porch, something hit me very hard in the head. And I thought it was a basketball or something. I thought someone was mugging us. I thought someone had thrown something at my head. And I mean, maybe Michael wants to tell, I kind of lost, I think I went into shock at that point because I lost the sight in my left eye for a while.
Judge Judy will be right back.
It seemed like the dog and the cat were in cahoots at that point. If the dog...
And a cat fell from the sky. She says Lisa Vincente should pay.
Mr. Ostrom, tell me what you saw.
Well, I was walking next to Zachary just like this, and something fell out of the tree over us and hit her in the head. I thought maybe somebody had thrown a basketball from the top of the stoop at her face, and I was ready to do something. And then I heard it was a cat. I heard a meow, a painful meow, and I saw a cat scurry away under a gate.
What'd the cat look like?
It was, as far as I can tell, it was a little gray cat. It was very dark. It was about 10:30 or so, I think.
It was almost midnight.
Yeah. So I pulled her under a streetlight to inspect her eye, and I saw that she was bleeding. The white part of her eye was bleeding, which frightened me a lot. And I think that's about the time that they said, "Did our cat just fall out of the tree?" And the dog came at us again. And this time I was getting ready to kick the dog or something.
So who said, "Did my cat just fall out of the tree"?
Defendant.
Out of the window, I think they said. Yeah. I mean, it seemed like the dog and the cat were in cahoots at that point. If the dog had not slowed us down, we would have been 5 feet further, and the cat would have missed us. The cat may not have survived the fall. I mean, I may have saved the cat's life by having the cat fall on my head.
True.
But
Now, tell me about the injuries that you suffered.
We went to the emergency room right away, and they examined my eye, and
Let me see the bills.
they said that
Don't tell me what they said. Can't tell me
Okay.
what they said. I'm just going to take
these
a
are
look
just
at
the bills.
All right, Miss Vincente, let's hear your defense to this.
Well, whatever they've said basically is what happened. I was standing on the front porch of my apartment, which is 3 houses down from where she lives, around the corner. And I was saying goodbye to my boyfriend. And my dog was not on a leash, and he was barking when they came up. And we were standing on the steps, and he barked, and she screamed.
You don't mean Michael barked. Michael didn't bark. The dog barked.
My dog's a boy dog. He barked. Okay. And his name's Waco. And he barked, and she started screaming because she was terrified of dogs. And I recall saying, he's friendly, like over and over again. The cat, who was a very old cat, was on the stoop above and heard the dog and heard her screaming. And I apparently wanted out of the tree, off the stoop. And just
What kind of
jumped.
stoop is this? I don't understand.
Well, I live on the 2nd floor apartment, and he's an indoor cat. And it was summer. I guess it was May. The windows were open. It was summertime, and he was outside on the little stoop, which is like not a patio, but a little bit of a narrow stoop. And apparently, he just wanted to get down. At that moment, he was scared from the barking and the screaming, which was going on, and he jumped. And exactly at that moment, she looked up, and he scratched her, and then slammed on the pavement and got a bloody nose and a bloody ear and ran off.
So why don't you think you're responsible?
My understanding is that you cannot own a cat and that you're not legally in ownership. Like a dog, if a dog bites someone, you are legally liable. And if they're injured, you're liable to pay for the bills or whatever kind of emotional damage or whatever happens with a dog. But cats you don't license, cats you don't, I mean, I feed it, I pet it, I've had it for 14 years. But there's no legal paperwork on it. And that was my understanding of the whole incident. So when she approached me 4 months later and asked me to help pay for the bills, I felt terrible about it. But at the same time, I didn't feel that I thought it was like an act of God. I thought it was the strangest, like the triangle, you know, the Bermuda Triangle, there we all were. And there the cat jumps out. And I just thought, well, that's too bad, but I'm not legally liable.
Yes, you are. Sure you are. Let's say instead of a cat that, you know, a little tabby cat, you had a little Bengal tiger cub in your house.
Which I believe you need a license for.
Some places you do. Some places you're not supposed to keep them anyway. Some places you don't. But if it's not licensed, you just have it in your house, and if that little Bengal cat eats your neighbor's baby, you're responsible. Now, you kept this cat for 14 years. Your cat. You feed it. You take care of it. Take it to the vet. It lives in your home. It's your cat, whether you're licensed to have it or not. You don't own and license children either, but if your kid causes damage, you're responsible.
Judge Judy returns in a moment.
Doesn't have the imprimatur of a license given to you by the state. That doesn't mean it's not your animal. You've kept it, you've housed it for 14 years. And there are mechanisms, if it's an indoor cat, to ensure that it doesn't get out. And one of those things is you put a screen over the window. If you're going to open the window to give the cat air, you put a screen over the window so the cat can't get out on the porch. Now, if the cat fell and killed itself, well, you would have been very sad. The cat didn't fall and kill itself because it fell on her head. It's your cat. You have to pay for medical bills. And I'm going to tell you something else. You're not acting tremendously responsibly with regard to your animals. You got a dog off the leash, and you think that that's okay as long as you tell people, he's friendly, he's friendly. Wouldn't be comforting to me if I were walking along with my boyfriend, my husband, one of my children, and your dog, even if it was friendly, came up and started barking. Your statement that, oh, it's friendly, it won't bite you, was not much of a comfort, madam. So you are responsible for these medical bills, the total of which, according to this, was $335?
There's two bills there. It was $495 with the $160 on the next day I had to go back for a follow-up exam to get my eye thoroughly examined.
Well, I think you're being very, very nice for suing over only for the cost of the bills that you incurred. Because you recognize it was really an accident, but it was an accident that could have been prevented. It could have been prevented if you took good care of your animals. I suggest you keep your dog on a leash and your cat in the house. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $495.
Pardons are excused. You may step out. Up next,
Judge Judy returns.
please.
Lois Meek says she was attacked by Josephine Lee when they got on a bus. Josephine says Lois punched her in the back for no reason.
Order. All rise. Shh. Your Honor, this is number 20 on the calendar in the matter of Meek versus Lee. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
How could two such lovely-looking ladies get involved in a cat fight like this? According to the complaint, you were both waiting for a bus, the same bus stop. You both boarded the bus, and that's where the stories change. So you're suing her for injuries. You want $1,412. She says that you injured her. She wants $373. Ms. Meek, let me hear the story.
Just went to the market, buying my fruit for the week. 4 cantaloupes, 8 bananas. Had it in my tool bag to carry every week with my backpack. Was waiting for the bus, sitting in the shelter. Heard a motor arriving, approaching, and I stepped out to the curb, saw the bus coming, and it stopped about 1.5 feet, 2 feet before me. Ms. Lee was standing about 10 feet down the road. The bus stopped. before me, very, very heavy. Picked my foot up and walked slowly to the bus. Attempting to step up, raising my knee, this woman comes running behind me and up my left side, knocking me off balance. And
This woman, you mean the defendant?
this Miss Lee ran around the back of me, behind me, and up my left side and cut me off, and then approached the bus driver, showed her fare, paid her fare, walked down the aisle. The third horizontal seat behind the bus driver, she stopped in the aisle with her back to the aisle, resting her little cotton bag and a black leather purse, both small, on the chair, waiting for me to pass, feeling that she was watching me. I thought, I've got to put as much distance between this woman as possible. This is trouble. I walked to the rear of the bus, walked to the last seat, the long seat across the bus, and there are two vertical seats, two horizontal seats in front. I'm turning around, back into the seat on the right, and this woman comes walking down the aisle, walking very fast, staring at me, and I thought, uh-oh. So she approaches me, starts pushing me, and I'm warding her off with my fruit. Can you imagine? And pushing me and fell. The bus started and I fell. My fruit went down. I fell on the bus. She's standing up there. My fruit's down there, and I thought, oh, I bruised my cantaloupes. I was just sick about it. Thinking I bruised my fruit, my bananas, they're gone, they're mush. So I stood up as soon as I could, as quickly as possible, and she started pulling my hair. Amazing. Pulling my hair. And with that, the bus, she jarred or something, pulled me back on the vertical seat. There are two vertical seats in the rear. She fell back, and I fell on top of her because she's pulling my hair. She wouldn't let go. When I fell, I braced my arm between us so as not to hit my head. Get upset, I'm sorry. And with that, I braced my hand, my arm, so we wouldn't hit each other's head, and she bit my index finger. With that, there was the German. Well, everyone was instructed to leave the bus. The bus driver was saying, nobody, they're yelling to the bus driver. Oh, I'm sorry, I have to go back. When she ran around me, when I was walking downstairs in the bus, I said, relax. I said, what's your hurry? There's a lot of seats. The bus is empty. And she, I guess that infuriated her. I don't know what happened.
Miss Lee, let me hear your version of these events.
Okay, on February the 16th, 1996, I was approaching the bus stop, Park Presidio and Geary Street, and I noticed that there was a Caucasian woman and elderly gentleman standing by the bus stop sign, and the bus stop sign is 20 to 25 feet north of the bus shelter. And I had two shopping bags in my hand, and I was standing about 6 feet from the bus shelter. When the bus pulled up, and Anthony Chan, the bus driver, he pulled up to the bus shelter, and I headed toward the bus, and plaintiff just ran up behind me and started pushing and shoving me to try to get on the bus ahead of me. And at that point, I just ignored her. And then when I got on the bus, I paid my fare.
So who got on first?
I did. At no time was plaintiff ever in front of me.
So you got on the bus first?
Yes. So I got on the bus, I paid my fare, and she was behind me, and she just came up and punched me in the back. And I turned around to see who hit me, and she said, what's your hurry, honey? You get on the bus. And so I ignored her, and then I proceeded to the middle part of the bus, and just as I put my bags down, I was about to sit down, she came up behind me and punched me in the back a second time. And then she started to head toward the back of the bus, and I turned around, I pushed her back and said, quit hitting me. And that's when she pushed me back, and it just went like this back and forth. And then she couldn't wait, and then she finally started punching me and kicking me. And because she was so busy punching and kicking me that she didn't hang on to anything on the bus, I was still hanging on. And she fell to the floor. And then when I turned around, I tried to get up to try to head to the front of the bus to tell the bus driver to call the police on her. She jumped me from behind and started punching and kicking me from behind. And as if that wasn't enough, she ran up behind me and grabbed me from behind with scratches, and she dug her nails into my face and my right eye, and that's how I lost my contact lens. And by that time, the bus driver, but anyway, well, he can tell you.
You're the bus driver?
Yes.
Step up here, please. Could you tell me your name, sir?
Anthony Chen.
Did you know either one of these two ladies before this incident?
No, I never saw them in my life.
So tell me the best of your recollection, sir. What do you remember about that incident?
Somebody yelled that, oh, they fight in the park. So
Was that the first you heard of them? Did you see
Yeah.
them when they boarded the bus?
No, I didn't pay any attention because daily over hundreds passengers.
So you paid no attention until somebody said that there was fighting.
Right.
And then did you see anything?
Yes, I looked at the mirror quick and I saw this lady, Lois Mick, punching Josephine in the back of the head.
Where were they standing at that time?
That time in the rear part of the bus.
In the back of the bus?
In the back of the bus.
Not the middle of the bus?
No. No.
Sit down. I'd like to see your medical bills, please.
Judge Judy is ready to rule. Lois Meek says she was attacked by Josephine Lee when they got on a bus. Josephine says Lois punched her in the back for no reason.
An ambulance take you from the scene?
No, I took my fruit home and then went.
So what does the ambulance charge?
They charge for going. For the
What do you
call.
mean they charge for going?
For the call. For the call to the bus. For that
You
trip.
didn't use the ambulance?
They still charge you.
Don't pay them. I mean, they charge. Somebody called an ambulance, you didn't use them, and you think that you think you're responsible for this bill? Did you pay this bill?
No.
Good. Don't pay it. Who called an ambulance?
The bus.
Did you call an ambulance?
Yes.
Well, then you pay it. I mean, she called an ambulance. So who asked you to call the ambulance?
Well, my supervisor, my
Don't
superior.
let your supervisor pay it. Now let me see your bills. I'm curious to see them.
Okay.
Did the same ambulance treat you as treated her?
Yes.
They got some racket, so they billed both of you.
Yeah. Separately, but
Huh?
we got billed, but it's still separately.
That's some good deal. Look, I have testimony from two ladies. Each of them tells me a very convincing story. Then I have testimony from a witness. The plaintiff tells me that this incident occurred in the back of the bus. Of that she is certain. The defendant tells me that this incident did not happen in the back of the bus, but happened in the middle of the bus. That the plaintiff came from the rear of the bus and assaulted her where she was standing. It's clear from the statement of the bus driver that this assault was taking place in the back of the bus, in the rear of the bus, which is totally consistent with what the plaintiff has indicated. So the judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,412. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She chose me to run behind and push and shove, even with my hands full, so there was no way I could hit her back.
From what I saw, it was the other lady attacked this lady. What I saw from my rear view mirror. And she had two hands with the bag, and she couldn't defend herself. The other lady attacked her.
And now, the next case.
Parties on Siegler versus Sorensen. Step forward, please.
Stephanie Siegler wanted a color change from hairstylist Karen Sorensen, but Stephanie says the change was for the worse, and her hairdresser knows it.
Ms. Siegler, you're suing the defendant for $3,000 about because you say she ruined your hair.
Yes.
Tell me.
Okay.
Hair looks nice.
Thank you. On April 13th, 1996, I had an appointment at Sheer Pizzazz in Cypress, California with Karen Sorensen. Actually, she was going to do my friend Jennifer as well. She was there. And
Did your friend come with you?
She came with me. She was going to cut her hair, I guess, while I was processing. I just wanted a light weave, golden color, not necessarily white. I have pictures here of what my hair looked like before and after. And she started to do my hair. She was extremely rough with me. At one point, when she realized my hair was turning bright orange, She was obviously getting exasperated. And
so what color did your hair turn?
Like a calico cat. The first two pictures are of me prior to, one I apologize is from like October, but I just couldn't find any that were, the other one's from February, which is only a couple months prior. And those were the pictures of what it looked like after.
Miss Sorensen, did you see these pictures?
Yes, I don't know if I saw those.
Well, let me show them to you.
Okay.
I'm not a maven on this because, of course, my hair is natural.
Judge Judy will be right back. Stephanie Siegler wanted a color change from hairstylist Karen Sorensen, but Stephanie says the change was for the worse, and her hairdresser knows it.
So tell me what happened to her hair.
Okay, basically what happened was I put a tint on her hair. I have the colors where she picked it out from a picture. It was called beige blonde. She was put under the dryer. I set the dryer for 15 minutes. During that time, 10 minutes into it, some friends of hers walked in, a guy and a girl. I didn't know who they were. At the time, I was trimming the back of her girlfriend's hair, which took me approximately 20 minutes to do. It was just a shaping. She has long hair. Anyway, during that time, it was about 10 minutes into it, and these people walked in, and my station is the first station right next to the desk. So I went to greet them. Before I could, out of the corner of my eye, she is only 7 feet from me at the most, and I can see her in my mirror. She gets underneath the hood, doesn't raise it, goes underneath it, gets out, and goes to talk to these people. On her way, I asked her, "What are you doing?" And she says, "I'm done." I said, "You are not." And she just dismissed me, turned her head, and went to talk to her friends.
Listen, you went and had your hair fixed, is that right?
Absolutely.
All right. Who fixed your hair?
Tina Totten of Beauty Gallery in Colton.
Step up. This happened not too long ago. You took a look at this head. Yes. You fixed it.
Yes.
How long did it take you to fix it?
5 hours.
And about when did you fix it? What month? In April?
Yes, I fixed it the day after it happened.
You had a day of distress because you went to her the day afterwards. Is that right?
Big time distress. I was on my way to Seattle and Montana the following week. I'm an outside salesperson in a professional career. There was no way.
Yeah, but you had your hair fixed the next day. According to her, you had your hair fixed the same day. So whether you were going out of town the next week on business doesn't make any difference.
Well, it faded while I was gone.
Well, she just told me that was natural.
Yeah.
She said it's natural, so you had to come back in 3 weeks. Right. Whether she had done you the hair or not, it's a natural process that it fades. Is that right?
For the most part.
For the most part. All right.
Damage.
So, she didn't do a good job. You're not going to go back to her again.
That's true.
Judge Judy will be right back.
No way are you out 400. And let us assume that you were out 400. Then how dare you file a lawsuit for 3,000? That's my question. That's what I want people to start to think about. So where do you get $3,000 from?
Well,
that you're suing her for?
Okay. $175 was the first hair restoration, if you'd like me to break it down. $35.
No, $175 was the first hair restoration that you paid to this witness. Is that right?
$35 for the second, $40.
No, listen to me. You paid so far $175 to have your hair done. Did you charge her any extra because of the additional work that you had to do?
Yes, I did.
How much extra?
$35.
$35 extra.
Right.
For the work that you had to do to rectify it. Okay, go ahead. Let me
I
hear.
also have hair conditioner at $40.22, another hair conditioner at $22.82. These are all conditioners that I had to use to get a comb through my hair. $4 for medication. I have a receipt here from urgent care. I wound up in urgent care. This happened on a Saturday with Karen. The following Monday, the whole time I was with her, she had a real hard time shampooing my hair and all that because I got rhinette from being in the shampoo bowl so long. And luckily I have insurance. All I'm asking for is the $4 for the Motrin and the Flex Roll.
Fine. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $39. That's all. And I break
Excuse-
that down as follows. It cost you an extra $35 because you had your hair done by somebody else, and she said she charged an extra $35 to do it. I mean, your initial request, madam, of $3,000 suggests to me that you believe that this is like an open faucet for money. She did your hair, and you weren't satisfied. There's no question that whatever process you did, whosever fault it was really not good. You are out of pocket $35.
$400.
No way. No way are you out $400. And let us assume that you're out $400. Then how dare you file a lawsuit for $3,000? That's my question. That's what I want people to start to think about. Not abusing the courts.
Well, the $2,500 was for the fact that I had to go to Montana and Seattle with my hair still messed up.
That's not true. She said you came to her the next day.
But then it faded.
She just testified, just listen to me, that is a normal thing that happens. The fading is a normal process. Listen to me.
If her hair was done properly the first time, she wouldn't have had to go through all this.
Listen to me. You just told me that is a normal, don't backtrack now. I just asked you whether that was normal. You said it was normal for there to be some fading.
Right,
Most
in
of
a
the time.
correction
Well,
color.
that's it. It's normal that what I'm suggesting is that you're not supposed to abuse the courts. The courts are here to give you assistance on legitimate amounts of money that are owed from one person to another, or when you think you have a legitimate complaint. I would suggest you put your hand down because you're coming out on top on this thing.
It would have cost me $175 to get it fixed. It would have cost me $80 to get it done correctly the first time.
Listen to me. You didn't pay her.
That's true.
Fine. You paid her, right?
$175.
That's what she charges. I hate to tell you what my beautician charges. That's all. Go home.
Parties are excused. Step back, please. Ms. Pantoja, step forward, please.
Kathy Tebow says former friend Socorro Pantojo entered her house at 2 a.m. and beat her up. Socorro says Kathy was paranoid that Socorro was sleeping with her boyfriend.
Order. All rise. Judge number 38 on the calendar in the matter of Tebow versus Pantoja. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, please.
You claim she came to your house in the middle of the night and assaulted you.
Yes, she did.
Why would she do that?
I've known Socorro since we used to work together, and she was gossiping at work, bad things about me. And all I wanted to do was clear it up with her, talk to her and clear it up. So I paged her. She called me at my home. At 9:15, we were talking on the phone. I told her I can be over there.
What date was this?
It was on January 5th.
Go ahead.
Told her I can be over there in 15 minutes and to talk to her, and she handed the phone to Patty, and Patty told me not to come over there to cause any problems. I told her I can respect your wishes. I didn't go over there. At 10 o'clock, I went to bed that evening on January 5th. Next thing I know, at 2 o'clock in the morning, I got woken up being beaten on. So what happened was, I didn't know that Socorro was in my home. At 1:23, she called and left messages on the answer machine.
Just a second. She came into your house at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Right.
How did she get into your house at 2 o'clock in the morning?
She was banging on the door and knocking on the door. My 10-year-old son fell asleep on the couch, and he got woken up to her banging on the door. He opened the door, and she was cussing at him, telling him to get...
Not true.
You weren't there.
Yes, it is true.
You weren't
It's not
there.
true, Your Honor.
Just a second. We'll let you tell your side of the story in a minute. You weren't there when she came into the house.
I was asleep.
So you don't know how she got into the house.
My son told me how she got in.
Well, you can't tell me what your son told you. He's not here today, is he?
And I keep my door... No, he's not here today.
Okay. Next thing you knew, she was in your room?
Next thing I knew, she was in my room.
And tell me what happened when she came into your room.
I got woken up. I saw hands flying at me. She was beating on me when I was sleeping. I had my 7-year-old daughter behind me in bed. She woke up crying, screaming, "Leave my mommy alone, leave my mommy alone." And my other kids got woken up in the house. I also had my cousin staying the night and my girlfriend, Tammy. I'm having hands flying at me while I'm laying in bed. Next thing I know, the only way for me to try to get out of bed was to kick her, to get her away. My 7-year-old's crying and stuff. And then my son, Ryan, ran in there, and he ran and got my cousin, Doyle, and Tammy up. They went in the room. Doyle grabbed Socorro by the shoulders, turned her towards the doorway so she can exit out. Next thing I know, I got out of bed, and I went like this, and I thought my nose was running because I was half asleep. My nose was bleeding from her. I had 2 big old bumps on my forehead, which I do have evidence, Your Honor. I do have pictures from the Riverside Police Department. We're in the kitchen. Next thing I knew, she was yelling and screaming back and forth at me. She was hitting me a couple times, so I was trying to defend myself and try to protect my 7-year-old that was crying. My kids were crying. Next thing I knew was Tammy, she came running in there. She grabbed her by the back of the hair, and she walked her to the front door and told her to get out.
Did you call the police?
Yes, I did. I did call my daughter, call 911 first. Melissa, you want to come up here and tell her? She did get frightened and scared.
How old are you?
I'm 12 years old.
Were you at home that night?
Excuse me?
Were you at home that night, the
Yes,
night of
I was.
January 5th?
Yes, I was.
Did you call the police?
Yes, I did. I called the police, but I was scared, so I hung up the phone.
So you didn't call the police. You called and then you hung up. You didn't
Yeah,
give them
because
the
I
address.
was scared. I didn't know what to do.
So who called the police?
So then I called 911, and I do have evidence. I do have the copy of the tape from the police department. You're more than welcome to play it. I do have threatening phone calls saying her coming over at 1:20 at nighttime. I turn off my ringer so me and the kids don't get woken up at night. I leave the answer machine on. I do have a copy of the tape from the answer machine. She came over at 1:23. She called, threatened me, cussing on the leaving messages on the answer machine.
She
saying
called
that
at 1:23 that
in the
night.
morning.
That
1:23,
morning.
yes, and I was down.
And then she
asleep.
came home left.
She came
to your home afterwards.
She came over at 2:00 in the morning. She woke up my son by pounding on the door, and he's the one that opened the door. He told her not to come in, but she forced my son. She pushed my son.
What was the fight about? You must.
We were
know.
arguing. We were arguing over the phone.
What were you arguing about?
We're about her. She was talking bad about me at work, gossiping, and all I wanted to do was clear it up.
Well, excuse me. If she was gossiping about you, why would she come over to your house?
Because she knew I wanted to talk to her. But when I wanted to talk to her on the phone, she didn't want to talk to me. And then she handed the phone to Patty, and she was over there getting more and more drunk. She was drinking her Patties.
All right, Miss
She didn't want to
Ventura.
talk to me on the phone. And Patty asked me not to come over there, and I respected her wishes, so I didn't go over there. Next thing, we were all asleep when she came over.
What's this all about?
Okay, this is not about gossiping at work or anything. We worked together, and we were friends. We used to go out and everything. Then after about 2-3 weeks prior to that, I was busy moving and everything, and then she started accusing me of being with her so-called boyfriend that I've never met.
That's a lie.
Just a second. Would you put your hand down, sit down? I didn't ask for you.
That's lying. You're lying.
Just.
That's what it's all about, her accusations. Accusing me of calling her boyfriend, telling him things about her. She told me she accused me 3 times. The first time, I let it go. The second time, it really bothered me and it hurt me because we were friends. And I said, why would I do that? You know, what makes you think that? And she says, well, he knows a lot about me and that you only know. And I told her I've never talked to him. I thought, why would I? I don't even have his number. I wouldn't even call him for what? I never even met him. That's what this is about.
Well, then why would you go over to her house?
She constantly is harassing me.
Why would you go over to her house? Hey, Miss T-Bolt.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Why would you go over to her house at 2:00 in the morning?
Okay, prior to her harassing me and everything, she's been accusing me, so she calls me that night. Pages me, 911, I call her back. She says, where you been all day? I had a day off, she worked. And then, so then I told her exactly where I was, went to, wherever I went, and told her the whole thing, and she sits there on the phone and says, are you sure? Are you sure you weren't with my boyfriend in LA? Because I went to Los Angeles with my friend, with their family. And she just kept on, and that was the 3rd time she had accused me, and I was just tired of it. I didn't even want to talk to her. We kept going around the same thing over and over. I handed her the phones, that way she can know what kind of state of mind this girl is at work also. I don't gossip about her.
Fine, so
fine.
You told her where you were that day.
Right.
You were in Los Angeles.
Right. Told her the whole story. She's still on and tells me, I went to your boyfriend's house. I says, what? And she says, yeah, I went over there. He's had a nice house, nice something else. I didn't want to say it.
Oh, yeah.
Shh. And so then I go, really, what did you go for? She says, I went looking for you. Prior to that, I hadn't gotten page or call, plus I wasn't home, so there was no messages. She says she went to look for me. My vehicle wasn't there. Why would she get down, proceeds to knock at the door and talk to him? She says, have you seen Socorro? And he goes, no, not since the morning. And then he wanted to know what was going on. And so she says, well, I think, my boyfriend and her are going out and having an affair.
Judge Judy will be right back.
Hi, Kat.
Kathy Tebow says former friend Socorro Pantojo entered her house at 2 a.m. and beat her up. Socorro says Kathy was paranoid that Socorro was sleeping with her boyfriend.
So what you're telling me is, there was a lot of gossiping around. Let me understand this about her boyfriend and you. And then she went to your boyfriend's house and told your boyfriend that you were messing around with her boyfriend.
Yes.
So that made you very angry when you heard about that.
It
Right?
got me upset, yes.
Your Honor.
Now, so why did you go over there?
Okay. So then I was down my friend's house for a while. I stood there, we watched TV. Then so I was going home and I just couldn't, I needed to talk to her to get it out of the way. I was going to work the next day. We had to settle it because we cannot take anything from home to work. So I go to her house. I phoned her on my car phone and I told her I was going over there. And
You told her or you told the machine?
Well, I told the machine, yeah. The
So you
machine
didn't
was
tell
on,
her.
sorry.
You told them. You didn't tell her. You told the machine.
Yes, machine. I told her I was coming over and I needed to talk to her.
That's at 1:23. Stop playing with the box. Put the box down. That was at 1:23 in the morning.
Yes.
You know she has young children.
Yes.
And you knew this wasn't going to be a very happy discussion at 2 o'clock in the morning.
She's usually calling me at those hours or early in the morning.
This time you don't have her answering the phone. You have an answering machine. So what happened? You drive up to the house and what happened?
The light was on in the kitchen. I go knock at the door, and her little boy answers the door, and I says, I need to talk to your mom. She goes, well, she's asleep. And I said, well, wake her up. I need to go over there and talk to her. So he goes, well, come on in. I go over there. The light in the kitchen's on. That's why I went to her room. I'm saying, Kathy, get up. I need to talk to you. She got up, and she goes, what? What are you doing here? And I told her, I said, we need to talk because this has gone on too long. And I said, I need to talk to you. So she sits up, we're talking. And then I keep asking her, no, what happened? Why are you accusing me? I told you already over and over. Why are you going to my boyfriend's house and starting up trouble? She knew our relationship was going so well and hers wasn't. So then afterwards, she started going ballistic on me. She started cussing at me.
That's a lie.
Shh.
You're lying.
Proceeds
You're lying.
to push me.
Yes.
You're not
I'm sorry,
helping
Your Honor.
yourself. Then don't do it again.
Gets up and pushes me out, saying that F word this, get out of my house. I just pushed her back in self-defense. She started kicking me, and then we just started fighting. She screams at her cousin and screams out for his name. They all come out, and then the cousin's girlfriend proceeds to take me out of there because we'll break us up. And then she did, and she grabs me by my hair, going out to the kitchen. This girl attacks me. Well, how would I attack her if they're holding me by my hair? She attacks me from the back, so there we started again. They just were calling me names too and telling me to get out, and I left.
He's sworn
Okay,
under
now,
oath, and you're sitting there
Miss
lying.
Tebow, Miss Tebow.
Yes. Can you play
You're not-
one of these
you're just a minute.
tapes? Okay, I'm sorry. But
Well,
she's
do
lying, Your
you know
Honor.
how many times you said you're sorry? Do you know how many times you said you're
Yes.
sorry? It's time not to be sorry. It's time to recognize where you are. Bird, would you take the tape that allegedly had a conversation on it at 1:23 in the morning? Now, Ms. Pantoja, did you hear the way you just told me the story? Right?
Yes.
Nice and calm.
Yes.
That you went over there and you went over there for the purpose of talking to her to try to get it out of the way, just in that nice, calm way. Do you remember?
Yes.
Is that the way you went over there in a nice,
Yes.
calm way? Good. Now I want to hear the tape from 1:23.
Hi, Kathy. It's the clown. Pick up the phone. I'm on my way to your house. Still there in like 2-3 minutes. Pick up the phone. Bye. 1:23 a.m. Monday.
Judge Judy will be right back.
I don't know.
Kathy Tebow says former friend Socorro Pantojo entered her house at 2 a.m. and beat her up. Socorro says Kathy was paranoid that Socorro was sleeping with her boyfriend.
I did not know she was coming over my house at 2
Just
in
a
the morning.
second. I understand that. She acknowledged the fact that you were in your bedroom sleeping when she got there.
I did make a police report. I also missed a couple days of work because of her. I did have pictures taken.
I'd like to see them, please.
And I also have doctor's statements that I had to go and have brain x-rays and stuff for a head injury that she gave me. This is a 911 call. First, my daughter
Who
called.
made the
and hung up.
911 call?
There's two of them on here from the police department. One, you can tell that Melissa called. There was like breathing, and then she hung up, and then I called 911, and you can hear what was said.
Did the police respond?
Yes, they did. They came out and took a police report, and I wanted them to get her while she was there, but she already left because she was drunk. I don't know if she was on drugs.
You must have been on drugs,
You know
too.
what? I was sleeping. I didn't ask for you to come over at 2 o'clock in the morning and waking up all three of my
Ladies,
kids.
you want me to throw you both out of here? You don't want that to happen, Miss Tebow, do you?
No.
Did you see these photographs, madam?
No, I haven't.
Oh, I'm going to show them to you.
The district attorney's office is pressing charges for force of entry and battery charges for what she did.
I can show the defendant these photographs.
I also have her nail that she dug into me, which is in that bag.
Wow.
Miss Tebow, did you tell her boyfriend that you thought she was fooling around with your boyfriend?
No, Your Honor, I did not.
What did you tell him?
I told him that he didn't know what kind of person that she was, what kind of person that she really was, because we used to go out drinking together and stuff, and she has cheated on her boyfriend.
Why did you find that necessary to tell her boyfriend?
Because I figured he should know. That was the day afterwards.
Because what?
That was the day after she did this. My girlfriend
The
Tammy.
day afterwards?
Yes,
No,
that was the day.
before.
It was the day afterwards that she did this. I went over there and I said, you know what? I need to tell you something. Socorro was my friend, but now that after she came over my house at 2 in the morning and did this to me, I have no respect for her anymore.
Miss Tebow.
Yes.
You're always supposed to tell me 100% truthful things when I ask you questions. I believe you when you say she came to your house uninvited. I believe you when you say she came to the house at 2 o'clock in the morning. I believe you when you say she came into your room and woke you up. And I believe you when you say she came into your room, woke you up, and assaulted you. I believe that. I don't necessarily believe, however, that the reason she was so angry was just because you had been doing some gossiping. I believe that the reason she was so angry is because you had, on that day, told her boyfriend about your suspicions that she was having an affair with your boyfriend. Am I correct?
Your Honor.
Am I
wanted to clear things up with Socorro.
Miss Tebow.
Yes. Okay, you're correct. But I also went to her boyfriend's house after it happened.
Now, you may have gone after. You listen to
Excuse
me. You may have gone afterwards, but you know, when you're in court, you're supposed to tell the truth.
I'm telling you the truth.
Well, you didn't before. I just want to make sure that I've got the scenario down pat. You did, in fact, tell her boyfriend about your suspicions.
Yes.
Before, which is why she was so angry on that night.
Right.
Listen to me, Ms. Pantoja.
Yes.
You were very angry when you went over there. You woke her up. You weren't planning to have a nice, quiet conversation with her, and there isn't a question in my mind that you assaulted her. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. So you have to pay for her injuries. You have to know that you're supposed to be a woman. A woman doesn't do something like that, especially in front of children. No person does that. I mean, men fight. Men are the, you know. What are they?
Men. Men.
Thank you, Bert. You know, women don't. I mean, men have testosterone. You know, they have this thing that gets their blood flowing. Women are supposed to be talkers.
Right.
You know, they're supposed to be resolution seekers.
I couldn't get anything in.
Just a second, then you don't speak to her anymore. Then you don't speak to her anymore. Hey, I want to tell you something. There is absolutely no excuse for her assaulting you. There is also no excuse for you being a troublemaker, which is exactly what you are. You're a troublemaker. I've gone over the bills and I've gone over your lost wages. I do not think, madam, that you will need plastic surgery, so I'm not considering the potential for plastic surgery. I don't see any permanent scars on you as a result of this incident.
I do have a scar here, Your Honor.
I don't see any scars that you're going to have plastic surgery to fix. Judgment is for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,200. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back is all parties.
Vida Scott fell in love with a guy named Ransom Eves. She says he totaled her car and her checking account.
Order. All rise. Judges number 59 on the calendar in the matter of Scott versus Eves.
Thank you, Bert.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Scott, I gather from your papers that you had sort of a short-term romance with the defendant.
It was a friendship. At the end, it was, right before it ended, a little thing happened, but then that was no more after that. It started as a friendship.
But it only lasted about a week.
It started December 21st when we first got together.
And when did it end?
About January 13th.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah, it seemed like a long time, though.
Well, some marriages feel like they're forever. And in that short period of time, you say you lent him $1,000 and he won't pay you back.
I said that 1,000 may have exceeded the amount, but the usage of my vehicle, I couldn't put an amount on that.
Let's hear the story.
Well, it started, our first time we actually got together was at my hairdresser's Christmas party. There's a picture of us together at the Christmas party. That's our first night together. And thereafter, the second night, he asked me to borrow $20 for gas, okay?
Well, what did he say?
He just said, can I ask you a favor? And I says, what? He says, can I borrow some gas money? And I'm like, yeah, sure, okay. So then...
So you gave him $20?
Yes, that was $20. That's the first night. And that he was over visiting. That was the 22nd of December. And then we drank champagne that night and, just talked and everything. So then, as time went on, we talk almost every night. We're talking every night, really. Okay, then on the 25th, he asked to borrow $20. He had his twins over for Christmas. He didn't get no food from the Christmas gathering at his family's house because it started a fight.
How did he ask you for this $20?
Well, he called up and he had his twins over there, and one twin got sick. The boy got sick and was asking to go home, and so he was stating that he didn't get no food because they was fighting at the Christmas gathering that he had went to.
How did he ask you for the money? What did he say?
Can I borrow some money to get some food? I don't have any food in my house.
And so what'd you do?
So after he came by with the little girl, and I lent him $20, and we also gave the little girl the movie Matilda to watch.
Okay.
Okay. Then on the 26th, now he told me when I met him, he had previous engagements. Okay.
Previous engagements? You mean previous things that he had to do?
Yeah, previous engagements stating the dates were the 27th, the 29th, and the 31st. And this is because he had another...
Did you write all these things down as they were happening?
No. I just remember as it went on because of the dates that he had to take care of the previous dates with this lady named Shirley who he's brought with him. See, this was a friend of his that he had besides me.
So he told you right up front on the 26th that he had dates with this other lady on certain times.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
And you said okay.
Okay, so yeah, he had previous dates to go with somebody on the 27th. 27th was her birthday, the 29th, the 31st. 31st is New Year's Eve, right? So anyway, but that night he comes over, he asked to borrow $100. He didn't state no reason why, but we're getting ready to go to the movies that night. He just insists. He gets paid on the 30th.
So he asked to borrow $100?
Right. The night before we get ready to go to the movies.
And so you gave him $100?
I lent him $100.
Okay.
Okay, so he works for Juvenile Hall, so I didn't feel like that was a problem because, he does have a job. So anyway, on the way to the movie, a drunk driver hits and totals his car out, runs out in the stoplight and totals the car out. Okay, at that point, we find out I have the police report. He has no insurance, okay? And he's a peace officer, he has no insurance. So then he needs to borrow another $100. For the first $100 that he borrowed, he needs to borrow another $100 because that's not gonna cover the tow, okay?
So he asked you for another $100?
Correct.
And you gave it to him?
Okay, yeah, to have his car towed to my house.
Another $100?
Right. Okay, now, he pays back 200 of the money, okay?
So now we're down to 40.
To 140.
No,
40?
we're down to 40.
Okay, yeah, he pays back 200 of the money.
Right, and he owed you 240. Now he owes you 40.
Okay, so then he goes, I tell him he needs to open up a checking account to get another car. He got his car from Statewide. This place called Statewide that salvages car. Okay, so in order to get a car from Statewide, you have to have a checking account so you can write a check all the way up to the car notes that you have. He had messed up his first checking account. So I have a checking account at Wells Fargo, so I took him to Wells Fargo on Vons in California to meet the representative, Michael Turner. Helped him open a checking account. There, he borrows $50 to buy some groceries while we're opening up the checking account.
What did he say to you?
Vita, can I get some milk and bananas and cereal? And then he says, can I borrow some money to get some milk, bananas, and cereal, right? So I gave him a $50 bill, and he uses it all of it but about a couple of dollars. In the meantime, we're opening up the checking account. He's not even paying attention to that.
How much money did he put in the checking account?
$5. You put $5 in the checking account. At that one, yeah, they let him put $5 in there.
Do you feel as if you're getting whipped?
Yeah.
And that's the way. You sure are. Yeah. And that's the way, Your Honor, he's good. He has a master's in communications.
Let's go.
He's good. Okay. And that's the way he throws it at you, just that fast.
Just a second. Right now he's standing there very quiet.
You know what? That's good. He's
probably saying to himself, why didn't I give this lady back her money?
He should have. And wait a minute. Then on the 15th, when I take him to the American Fair, when he goes to the American Fair Credit to get a visa, right, is a $55 initial fee. He tells me that he got his check garnished on the 15th. So he
How
can't pay
much
me my
more
money.
money did he borrow from
He
you?
borrowed
Miss
altogether $200 more after that.
And you can tell me chapter and verse of every penny.
Everything, right? I can tell you because I think back to, I keep track of it. That's what he used to say. Oh, man, you keep track of it day for day, money for money. That's right.
So far, we're up to $390.
Okay. Then I was like exceeding the limit because he used my card periodically all the time.
That's your problem. You
Okay,
shouldn't let
right.
him use
And
the
he
card.
just took it to the extreme, Your Honor. He was very good, right? Very good. But then at the end, okay, he comes by. My little girl has a touch of pneumonia on the 15th. I'm at work. He has 2 of my CDs and my Rolodex. He comes by and brings the 2 CDs and the Rolodex and tell my little girl, tell me he'll pay me next payday. Now, before we get to the...
Before you get to what?
The 29th, where, okay, next payday comes around, right?
He didn't pay you so
he
far.
He doesn't pay, right?
He owes you $390.
Right. So next payday comes, I think it's like the 28th, and he says, don't be harassing me. I told you if I have time, I'll squeeze you in. If I can't, I won't, right? So then the 30th comes, and he says, I couldn't squeeze you in, so, whatever. So he's talking mess on the phone. He says, you keep on talking mess, I won't pay you at all. I said, click, and went right to the courthouse and filed on it.
Do you want...
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
You mean she didn't give you...
Vida Scott fell in love with a guy named Ransom Eves. She says he totaled her car and her checking account.
As I stated in my statement before, as far as all the accusations in the store, the part, she asked me to get her something to eat for her kids. So I asked her, can I get something too? So she gave me the money, and I bought her what she needed and also some of the things that I needed also. Next question.
Tell her the things you bought me.
Just a second. What do you want me to ask him?
I want him to know what he bought me that day when he shot for him. It says he said he shot for me too. That's why he got something too?
Well, she sent me She sent me to the store often to send me to the store. After my car was wrecked, I was pretty hurt because, I had other things planned and I just was gonna go to the movies with her just to be her friend. But after the car, I kind of didn't want to be around her. I didn't want nothing to do with her. So she pretty much showered me with gifts and gave me money.
Mr. Reeves, she gave you money.
Well, seeing that I needed it, she offered it to me that she had it.
How much do you earn a year?
Say $35,000 a year.
You earn $35,000 a year. You had to borrow $20 for her for food?
Very much so, ma'am.
So you borrowed the $20 for her for food, right?
No, she offered it to me because I told her I didn't have any money. So she offered me the money. And I wasn't going to turn down the money at the time because...
What about the towing of your car to her house? Did she give you the $100 for that?
She did, but I returned her the money also on January 15th.
Well, you gave her back $200.
Right.
But that didn't cover the other money that she gave you.
But the money that she supposedly gave me was a part of, sending me on missions as far as going to stores and different errands that she wanted me to do for her.
You mean so that the things that you bought were things for her or were things for you?
It was things for her.
No, that's not what you just told me a moment ago. You said that you needed money for food for your kids, and so she gave you the money.
No, she stated that I needed food for my kids, but I told her that I didn't have it. And since she was going to the store already, she said, come on, I'll go ahead and buy the food for you then.
You mean she didn't give you a $20 bill?
No, she didn't.
And you didn't come over to her house at another time where she gave you another $20 bill?
No.
No, that didn't happen. What about money for a haircut?
Haircut, out of the question.
You mean she's making all this up?
Yes, she is.
This is somewhat different from what you say in your answer. And I'm quoting you. At the present moment, I have lost my car and have other bills to pay at this time.
Right.
I even begged her to stop calling me and that I would be giving her $100 for the gifts that she gave me after the accident. She agreed that she would wait until February 14th for me to give her the money.
Yes.
But the next thing I know, she filed a small claims case.
Exactly.
Did you ever give her the money?
Did
you ever give her the money?
No.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. Vida Scott fell in love with a guy named Ransom Eves. She says he totaled her car and her checking account.
Miss Scott.
Yes, Your Honor.
Listen to me. I think he owes you some money.
He does.
I don't think he probably owes you $390, but I think he owes you some.
Yeah,
Listen to me.
Okay.
I think he owes you some. What he's saying is that you like him. You did like him. You were more interested in him than he was interested in you. He wants to break it off, and you're not ready to do that. So I'm telling you, you're a nice lady. Get over it.
It's been over with. I'm telling you.
Perfect. Don't call him anymore.
Don't have to.
Don't write him anymore.
Don't need to.
Very good. It's over. He doesn't want to know about you anymore, and you look like a lovely, handsome-looking woman. And
don't need it.
You don't need it.
When he wrecked that car, his whole world shattered.
Absolutely right. Okay. Mr. Reeves.
Yes.
I want you to look into my eyes and tell me, to the best of your recollection, how much money did you take? You say borrow, she says borrow, you say gift. How much money did you take from her that you have not given back?
$100, that the gift that she gave. That's about basically it.
Okay. You say he owes you $390?
Yeah.
You got the cards to prove it?
Yes.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $390. Thank you. That's all.
Body's excuse. You may step out.
It wasn't a relationship.
You know, I'm just glad that it's over with and that, I'm getting paid, and I hope that other women see this, that he has done this too, and bring him back to court. He is so confused. He couldn't even get his story right. He is just out of it, right? He is pitiful. I told him in advance, don't play with me, that I wasn't no joke. And he still kept trying to come back. And he got what he got his, and I'm glad about it. And everybody's gonna see it. Too bad, you lose. That's it.
And now, the next case.
Parties on Pappert versus Smith. Step forward, please.
Alan Pappert wants to be compensated because he was injured in a collision with Glenn Smith during a street football game.
Super Bowl party. Halftime. The boys are ready to play. You go outside for a little game of touch football. Take it from there.
Oh, we decided to play a little touch football with our kids. I was playing a deep safety. There was a long pass.
Don't get too technical with me, sir. I don't know a football from its...
I was playing in the back, very in the back, waiting for, someone to come. Saw the ball. I was going backwards, saw the ball, saw it was well over my head, stopped, turned, saw Glenn coming at me.
That's Glenn.
It's Glenn. Tried to yell to, stop, and we collided. We collided. Went flat on my back. A couple guys I couldn't get up. A couple guys had to carry me into the house. Went to the hospital, then went to a clinic where they ended up x-raying my leg. I have pictures of the x-rays of before and after. The doctor at the clinic said I will need a surgery. Ended up surgery. I was in the hospital 6 days. They put 7 screws and a plate in my leg. I was out of work for 6 months. Couldn't work my regular job or my part-time jobs. And to this day, I have about 90 to 100 degree bend in my knee. I can't go downstairs very well. I have to step by step. Doctor said in the future, I'm looking at possible knee replacement.
I mean, I'm letting you introduce all this hearsay because it's really not particularly relevant to this case, because I'm certain that you know that there are some problems with your case, sir.
Yeah.
I'd like to take a look at the x-rays just because I'm curious. You have a son?
I do, yes.
How old is your son?
He's almost 8.
You going to let him play football?
Yes.
Really?
I would let him play football.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's terribly responsible of you.
No, if you consider the conditions you're playing in. We're playing in the street. We weren't playing NFL. It wasn't an Emmitt Smith. It was a Greg Smith. It was a family game. We didn't have safety equipment. And he was out of control, running down the street.
I didn't hear anything out of control. You were playing a game.
Not
You want to tell me what happened, sir? Is pretty much what he told me what happened?
Basically.
Basically.
Basically, I was running down the street, and he was playing deep safety. And I saw him in the center of the street. I was running down the right side. And I'm pretty fast, so I figured this is an easy touchdown. And I just kept on going straight, turned to look for the ball, and next thing I know, I'm on the ground. I ran into him, and we collided.
So you both fell to the ground?
We both fell to the ground, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Injured.
Yes.
That doesn't necessarily mean it's somebody else's fault, sir.
Well,
did you ever hear the phrase, I'm certain that you spoke to lawyers about this. Did you speak to lawyers about this?
A couple of people I've discussed it.
Lawyers, not a couple of people. Lawyers.
One, I believe.
And so I'm sure you spoke to a good lawyer. The lawyer told you this phrase, assumption of risk.
Correct.
And when you play a game of football, touch or otherwise, you assume certain risks. Now, if you were walking down the street and weren't involved in this game, and some other people were playing a game of touch football, and they came over and they knocked you over and you broke your leg, aha, that's a different story. Because when you're walking down the street, you don't assume the risk that somebody's going to come and knock you over. But when you play a game of touch football, the object of the game, I mean, I don't watch a lot of touch football, only if I'm tied to the sofa do I watch football. But I see all this falling over and hitting people and charging people in the stomach. That's what football is. If you went over and said, excuse me, could I have the ball? Nobody would watch that game. Men watch this game because it's a contact sport. They love to see injury. They love to see powerful men colliding with each other. That's what they love. That's what the game is. It's not jump rope. It's football. You were injured. That's a really sad thing. I assume you're not going to play touch.
Step forward, please.
Rosemary Agnew White was in a deep romance with Cliff Washington, so she loaned him her car. The love is gone, and she wants him to pay for the dings.
Order, all rise. Quiet, please, all rise. Judge number 4 on the calendar in the matter of White versus Washington. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat.
Got a lot of papers there.
Ooh, it's all evidence, Judge.
Miss White, you dated the defendant for a while.
Yes.
You say you lent him $300.
Yes.
And that he borrowed your car.
Yes.
And I don't know how much money you want for this borrowing of your car. But why don't you tell me, when you met him, when you started lending him the money, whether there was any agreement to return the money, and then we'll get to the car.
Okay, well, actually, I met him, Judge, over the telephone. I was calling his house on some business. I had advertised for a roommate because I was living at the time in a house that had extra room. So I called the house, and he answered the phone. It was actually his mother's house because he lives with his mom. So he got on the phone, and then he and I began to talk. So he kind of found out my background, you know, that I'm a professional woman, basically very responsible because I've lived in the same home for like 20 years. I've been at the same job for 20 years, okay? So anyway, about 2 weeks later, I received a phone call from Mr. Washington. At that time, he asked me out for a date. So I had to remember who he was. So he reminded me who he was, and so I said, why not? I'm a nice person. He seemed to be a very nice person. So we went out on a date, and this was September the 5th. I know because school was going to start the next day, and I'm a school teacher, so I can remember the exact date. So what happened is we became friends, and then we became an item, so to speak. I trusted him, and we grew closer and closer as the days went along. Very close, as a matter of fact. And then what happened a few weeks later, unfortunately, his car was stolen. His van was stolen in front of my home, and this had never happened before, because we live in a very, very nice neighborhood. So at that moment, I felt kind of obligated to help him because I knew his van was his primary means of transportation because he's independently employed, so that's his business also. So I offered him the car thinking that he had insurance and he would give it back in a reasonable amount of time. And this was my work car that I drive every day to work. And I had another car, which was a newer car.
So you had two cars?
Yes.
So you gave him your second car?
I loaned him my second car. I didn't give him anything.
No, I mean you loaned him your second car.
Yes. And what happened is...
And what did you say to him? You say you can use my car until what? Tell me what the conversation was.
I said, well, Cliff, you can use my car.
Okay.
But anyway, what happened is I asked him numerous times, and this is like 2 months later, to return my car. And every time he had some excuse as to why he wouldn't. And basically, I had to take my car back. My friend, Miss Lynch Douglas, and I went to his home one evening and drove my car away because it was parked out front of his house.
Okay, well, that's all right. Had you stopped dating at that point?
No, we were still kind of dating, but we weren't really, like, close anymore because I was upset. Like, naturally, any woman would be who had a person in their life who wasn't being fair to them. Well, anyway, when I got my car back, I noticed that there were a lot of things that were wrong with it. Not once did he tell me, number one, he had received a parking ticket in Newport Beach, California, at a time when I was at work. And here, you know, he never
so he got a parking
told me
ticket.
That there was a...
All right. Mr. Washington.
Yes.
Parking ticket.
Yes.
Yours?
No.
Whose?
I have no idea, Your Honor. That car was borrowed on November 11th through December 1st. I think that ticket may have been dated then. That particular weekend, Rosemary's best friend, Miss Greta Lynch Douglas, borrowed the car for the weekend. If I'm not mistaken, that ticket is dated December 1.
Yes.
I did not have the car that day. Miss Lynch Douglas drove the car that weekend because I believe she had a personal item that had to be taken care of. She picked the car up from Miss Agnes White's house on the 29th, and it was returned, I believe, that following Monday, which would have been...
Just a second. Are you Miss Lynch Douglas?
Yes.
Stand up.
I don't know where he gets this from.
Did you have this car in Newport Beach for any reason?
No, I very seldom go to Newport Beach, and if I used the car, it was just used to go to work, which I live in Stanton, and was to go to Long Beach.
Let me ask you this question. Did you have the car on December 1st?
I don't really recall having the car on December 1st.
We didn't get the car back.
Your Honor, we had a major dispute about this.
Yes, we sure did.
Yeah, about
and
that
I
particular
didn't get
weekend.
the car.
No, that weekend, she took the car. I believe it's for a personal day. She had been advertising.
Oh, and you documented that.
Exactly.
All right. All right, let's listen to me. Let's move on to...
Okay.
What else about the car? Because I see we're going to do the car first. That's not necessarily my order, but it's your order. It's okay.
Right. Not once did he offer to pay insurance, and I have my insurance.
I'm not interested.
Statement.
I'm not interested in that, Miss White.
When I took my car in to have it looked at because there was a lot of damage on it.
Like what?
Well, the front end, the fiberglass had been knocked off of the left front headlight, okay? There were numerous bumps and grinds or whatever on it. My car cover wasn't there. As a matter of fact, Miss Lynch Douglas and I had to go back 2 days later to confront him to get my car cover back and other materials he had taken out of the
So did you get your car cover back?
Oh, yes. But he was...
All right.
Also, Your Honor, I have estimates.
From what?
For both of my cars. Not only did he drive my 280Z, which is a classic, but he also drove my new car, which is a 929 Mazda, the big one and the best one. And there's all kind of damage that he put on that. I mentioned to him that it needed to be repaired, and I wanted him to pay the deductible.
What?
These are the estimates.
Well, just a second. What damage? Tell me what damage.
Mostly it's the paint job and the chips. And my license plate, when I received the car back on the 280Z, it was totally ripped off. There was no bolts, no front, no nada. The whole thing had to be repaired with parts to put back on.
Then don't let anybody your car anymore.
Thank you.
Listen to me. Don't listen to me. Don't lend
Judge.
anybody your car anymore. What you're telling me is all these things that you say are wrong with the car are ordinary things that happen to a car when you drive around, park it in a parking lot, and what do you want?
Well, she had asked him for the car back on numerous occasions. And he wouldn't give it back.
Just a second. You could have done exactly what you did. Could have gone to the house, picked up the car, you had the keys.
But, Your Honor, that wasn't even a situation where returning the car. The day that Miss Greta and Miss Agnew-White picked up the car, I physically drove to her job. I had her office because she works at a high school. I had the office call Miss Agnew-White to the front. We sat in my van. We talked for about 15 minutes. I say, you know, Rosemary, I'm tired. This situation is not going anywhere. Relationship is not progressing. Here are the keys to the Z. On your way home, you're Miss Greta. Stop at my house. The Z's parked right there. Please pick up the car and take the car home.
So you gave her the keys?
I took her the keys. I drove from Orange County to Long Beach and took her the keys in person.
Did you decide that this relationship was going nowhere?
Yes, as it progressed, the latter of the 2 months, I did decide that it wasn't going anywhere. I'd invested a lot of time, a lot of energy, quite a bit of money into it. It just wasn't going anywhere. It wasn't happening. I just wanted out.
Miss White, I'm going to take care of the car very quickly. Don't lend anybody your car again. You lent him the car. You told me what you said when you lent him the car. If the car came back in less than pristine condition, if you want to take care of it, take care of it. He doesn't have to pay for your insurance. He doesn't have to pay for the dings on the car. I mean, you haven't suggested to me that he caused any damage, that he was in an accident with this vehicle. Listen to me.
I am.
Relationship's over. If the relationship had gone someplace, you wouldn't have said to him, fix the dings on the car.
Judge Judy will be right back. Rosemary Agnew-White was in a deep romance with Cliff Washington, so she loaned him her car. The love is gone, and she wants him to pay for the dings.
Now let's get to Miss White. Let's get to the loans you say you made him. Get to the loans.
$300 cash.
For what?
I have the record here from the ATM in Las Vegas, Nevada. What happened is my youngest son, who's 21, was having a birthday in October, and Mr. Washington and I were having a very good relationship at the time, so quite naturally, I invited him to accompany us, and my friend Miss Greta was going to go anyway. So what happened is, we were there one day. The next day, he says that he has a major emergency. He needs $300. He's got to wire it back, and he needs it immediately, and it's very important. He knew I had the money because he knew from conversations.
Don't tell me what he knew. Did you borrow $300 from him?
Your Honor, at the Vegas trip, I did borrow $300.
Good. Did you pay it back?
No, I didn't, Your Honor.
Perfect. So we have $300. Anything else?
Yes.
What?
Well, I want to go back to the car. That car was in mint condition, number one.
Don't lend it to anybody else, Miss White. Let me tell you something. If I lend a car to somebody and I say, why don't you use mine? You know, you're in difficulty, we're in a relationship, use my car. And the car may have been in mint condition when you lent it to him. You got it back, it was in less than mint condition. Did you drive the car occasionally? Listen to me. Did you drive one of the cars occasionally?
No, not occasionally, rarely.
Did you drive it twice?
Rarely.
No, listen to me. Come on.
One day.
Rarely.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you that she only drove the car one day.
Because I have my own car.
Listen to me. I don't believe you that she only drove the car one day.
Well, Judge.
Right? Did you drive it more than one day? Listen to me.
Your Honor, this is...
Sure. Watch you. Did you drive her car, either of her cars, more than one day?
Yes.
Fine.
Judge Judy will be right back. Rosemary Agnew-White was in a deep romance with Cliff Washington, so she loaned him her car. The love is gone, and she wants him to pay for the dings.
I can understand your anger and your frustration that this... Well, don't lend a boyfriend your car anymore, madam. He doesn't have to pay for the insurance while he had the car. You didn't have an agreement with him to do that. He didn't have an accident in the car. The car had dings on it. Open, close a garage door in a parking lot, somebody dings your car. He's not going to pay for that. He's not going to pay for that.
What about ripping off the front of my license plate, the whole bracket?
Just a second. Are you suggesting that he did that on purpose?
No, I'm suggesting that he was responsible for it. There's a big difference. He doesn't have that kind of mentality, I don't think. Just because I dumped him and didn't want to be with him anymore, and I'm the one that dumped him because he was returning my calls, I was ignoring it. I had decided a long time ago I didn't want to be bothered. My girlfriend, Miss Lynch Douglas, sized him up the first time she saw him. She said he was a gold digger. She said he was a gold digger. She said that he had read me like a book. He knew I was a Christian. He knew I was a foster parent in Orange County, California. He knew I was taking care of my 2 twin nieces who are 7 years old. He played into that. He knew I was a school teacher with a good heart. He knew that I was a decent person. He saw me, he used me, and then he decided he wanted to use me some more. I said no. And then that's when he got mad. Twice I asked him to return my $300.
Well, now you don't have to ask him twice because I'm giving you back your $300.
But this just shows the character.
Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff, sir, in the amount of $300.
Well,
That's what you... Listen to me. That's what you owe her.
I have no problem with this.
Very good. I have no problem
If
either.
he had no problem, Judge, he would have gave it to me and I wouldn't be here.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you.
I never disputed
If he had
the
no
money.
problem, he would have paid me and I wouldn't even be here.
I never disputed the money loan. I mean, she's entitled to that. The
you
judge's
are?
decision is fine. I have no problem with it.
He has no character because if he had borrowed something, wouldn't you return it in the shape that it was in? What he saw was a sitting goose, and basically he went for all the eggs. And when I dumped him, he got upset. And not only did he ruin my old car, but my new car. He basically abused me and used me, and now he won't even own up to it.
And now, the next case.
All parties on Brown versus Brown. Step forward, please.
Catherine Brown helped keep her daughter-in-law, Shauna Piper Brown, out of jail after she confessed to stealing from her boss. Now, she wants the money back.
To Mrs. Brown's. This is your soon-to-be ex-daughter-in-law.
Yes.
You say she owes you $2,000.
Yes.
For what?
For money that we lent her in August of '94 to pay off a debt to an employer.
What kind of a debt?
She had some problems with the employer. Some money was missing at work that she had to pay back. And they came to us. Her and my son came. And
Who came?
Shauna and my son, Brandon, came to my husband and I and asked for help. And the arrangement was made between all 4 of us for us to help her. And she was going to go to school. And when she finished school, which was going to be approximately 9 months, when she started to work, she was going to be responsible for paying the bill back.
And this was $2,000?
That was $2,000.
Okay.
I didn't even choose to go to school until...
Forget school.
Okay.
Let's get to...
I never...
August of 1994. Were you working at the time?
At the time, yes, I was working, and there was a situation. But the monies were loaned to us as a couple.
Well, that's what you say in your
Right.
papers. Am I gathering from what your mother-in-law says that you were working for whatever company you were working for, and they accused you of taking this $2,000? How much was missing?
I think that's irregardless at the time. I don't have an exact amount.
No, it's not irrelevant because that's what she says the money was for.
I don't know the exact amount now.
Do you?
Yes, ma'am.
Step up, please.
We've got the confession and everything from the employer right here. It's $3,390.55 is what she stole from the company.
Now, did the company agree to take $2,000 in satisfaction of this $3,390?
She also signed another paper that said that she would make payments on the rest of it. On the rest owed, the original $2,000 would keep her out of jail.
Let me see the papers, please.
Judge Judy will be right back.
We were having financial difficulties. My husband had not been working, and we had a drug problem within the home, and there was a lot of money going to irregardless things, and I was feeling guilty. I took money from the office so that we could keep our home.
Return this to them, please. Mr. Brown, did you know what your wife was doing with this money, sir?
I didn't realize that she was getting it. In fact, my parents came to me. The employer had went to them and told her. She told me that there was some sort of situation that she was having trouble at work. Then her employer went to my parents and told them.
Don't tell me what the employer told your parents.
Right. Well, then my parents came to me and told me, and that's when everything came out. And to keep my son's mother out of jail, which I look back, I should have just let her go. But
According to this, Miss Brown, you were facing jail.
Possibly, yes.
So your in-laws helped you out?
Yes, they did. We were having financial difficulties. My husband had not been working, and we had a drug problem within the home, and there was a lot of money going to irregardless things, and I was feeling guilty. I took money from the office so that we could keep our home, and I wasn't telling him. And when it came down, he didn't want me to go to jail, and so we asked his parents to help me out.
Mm-hmm. So you owe him the money?
I don't have the money, and I didn't make an arrangement to pay it back on that date. And that's what I'm disputing, is I didn't make arrangements on that date. And they're saying August and, certain dates. Yes, I told her I owed her, I realized that, but I don't have the money.
In your answer, you do say, if any money was given, it was not a loan to me, it was a loan made to both my husband and I for the crime, and therefore, why should you pay it yourself? That's what you say in your answer.
I understand that, but in my own views and in the situation at the time, if the other situations that had been going on in our home, which are irregardless to this, we wouldn't have been in that. I wouldn't have been in that depression. I wouldn't have done such things.
Well, there are always excuses that people make for criminal behavior. Stealing is a crime. I'm not going to go into what was going on in your home. I don't think it's particularly relevant. According to you, it was not a good situation. I assume that you're both better off out of the situation. And I certainly hope that neither one of you again are going to be involved with anything that saps all your money, like drugs. Good. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,000. That's all. Thank you.
Barge, excuse you may step forward, please.
Robert Keister was driving through a parking lot. Don Dishner was walking. They had a close encounter. Robert is suing because Don kicked his truck. Don is suing for the damage to his shoe.
Order. Order. All rise. Judges number 33 on the calendar in the matter of Keister versus Dishner. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated.
Mr. Keister, don't look so glum. I haven't even started yet.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Oh, you're tooling along in the parking lot in your truck, according to your complaint. According to your answer, you don't like the way he's driving in the parking lot. So you went over to his car and you kicked his truck, not his car, his truck, with your shoe, causing damage to your car in the amount of, or your truck in the amount of $480 some odd.
Yes.
And 3 days car rental while they were fixing your truck.
Yes, Your Honor.
You want $95 for the damage to your shoe. So, in 5 minutes or less, tell me what this is about, gentlemen.
All right. I was approaching the parking lot, going into a Ralph's Market to pick up some stuff to take to work with me for lunch. Mr. Dishner was crossing the street at the entrance of the parking lot. I stopped. He went on across. When he got across, he stopped and hesitated as if he was going to turn around and go back. I had already started rolling. I beeped a horn just to let him know that I was there. He looked around at me and he walked over to the truck and he took both fists on the rider's window and banged it about 6 or 8 times as hard as he could. Had that window broken, I know that I'd have been in a fight for my life. Then, when the window didn't break, he backed off a couple of steps and kicked it and caved it in. At first, I thought...
Kicked what?
The truck, the door.
The door to the truck.
The door to the truck. And then, just as if nothing had ever happened, he just straightened up, turned around, walked right on into the market. And the thing that bothers me is if it had been a lady in there or a kid or an old person or somebody like that, I don't know. I don't know what would have happened.
While I'm hearing from Mr. Dishner, why don't you hand up to my bailiff the estimates on your truck?
I was crossing the crosswalk. The gentleman's car was, the plaintiff's car was coming. I didn't think he was going to stop. He was coming barreling down. So once I realized he was going to stop, I continued on my way across. Before I completed the 25.5-foot march, he came forward again and bore down on his horn. I'm less than 3 feet from his vehicle. What am I supposed to think? I turn around. I turn around to ask him what his problem is, and he flips me the bird. And so I pound on his window, and he basically invited me to kick his car.
How did he do that?
Provocation.
And what was the provocation?
When he honked his vehicle, I didn't know what the situation was. I turned and looked to see.
Slowly I turn.
Three Stooges, didn't they tape? Yeah. I turned rather quickly and asked him what his problem was in so many words, and he answered in so many words.
Well, in so many words, did you say, what is your problem? Is that what you said?
As I would, scared for my life, I just thought I was going to be just struck by a
But that's
car.
not what you said. You said something that you wouldn't like to say in open court to him when he bumped the horn.
Indeed.
You can't do that, Mr. Dishner. I mean, you can't be a posse out there looking for people who are driving irresponsibly. Did you ever visit New York?
I've flown through it once.
Flown through it. Flown through it is not half the experience that I'm talking about. It's a pedestrian. I mean, in California, you know, I see everybody pretty much stops when somebody gets off the road. You know, in New York, it's more like a game of, can we hit him? You know, so what you're telling me is something that I've grown up with all my life. You know, you get out on the street and you have people, especially taxi cabs, looking at you and saying, oh.
But once again, you're not, you know, you have to look at it from my point of view that I'm crossing. All of a sudden, I hear a loud screech. I don't know if he's going to hit me. I don't know what the case is as I turn.
But you turned around, sir, and in order for you to actually kick his truck, causing damage to his truck, you had to have at least a couple of steps away from him in order for you to get up enough leverage to go over and kick it. Before you did that, I mean, you certainly registered your displeasure with what he did by, according to you and according to you, pounding on his window. You did that first. So you knew he wasn't going to hit you with his vehicle when he pounded at your window. Then the second thing that you did was take a couple of steps back and give the truck a good whack. You have pictures of the truck?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see them, please? All right. Now, where did you rent this car from that you rented, sir?
Oh, I didn't rent it. What it is, I haven't fixed the truck yet.
Oh, well.
And that's just the estimate. The truck is still drivable and everything like that, so.
How many cars do you have?
Just the one.
What do you have, sir?
I just have an estimate for a car I rented for $18 a day.
Okay. Let me see what you have. This Ben's Body Shop, or whatever it is, they don't rent cars, do they?
No, they have a car rental unit that they deal with.
All right, well, you can rent a car then for less than the $29 a day. You have an estimate? Should say $18, yeah, days, $18.95.
$18.95, correct.
And then you gotta add tax, and you gotta add all that other stuff on it. What? No tax? Where do you live? I wanna live where you live. You don't pay tax?
Try not to. No.
Huh?
It's $18.95. The total bill is on there.
Yeah, they also have this other thing here in California now. You got to pay a piece of the registration fee, and you got to pay all that. Where'd you get these people from? Oh, I see. This is a rent-a-wreck.
Well, indeed. It is a rent-a-wreck, Your Honor.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Can't lose.
Robert Keister was driving through a parking lot. Don Dishner was walking. They had a close encounter. Robert is suing because Don kicked his truck. Don is suing for the damage to his shoe.
I'm going to give you $25 a day for renting a truck. Probably you'll take 3 days to fix it, paint it, and then wait for it. You have this doodad on the side that has to be fixed. All right. Listen. Can't lose your temper, sir, like that. You never know what kind of a nut you're going to find in a car. You go over to somebody's car and kick it because you didn't like the way they were driving. You'll find somebody who'll take out a gun and blow your head off if you touch their car. So you better learn to control your temper. I don't know if you were driving erratically or not. Pedestrians always have the right of way. You owe him the money. You got to fix his car. Got to pay for his car rental. He does not have to pay for your shoes. The judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $508, which includes your rental. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you. I like her. I don't think Don will agree, but I like her.
Well, I didn't wake up that morning with the idea of going to kick a car. I hope he's as fortunate next time something like this happens that they only kick in his vehicle.
And now, the next case.
Parties on. Pittman versus Washington Self. Step forward.
Edna Pittman says she was in a heated blackjack game with her friend Barbara Washington. A wrong card here, a money mistake there, and Edna says she was decked.
Ladies, you play blackjack?
Yes.
Regular game?
Not really, occasionally.
How long have you been playing blackjack together with the group?
About 20 years. Well, I've played with her for about 8 years, 10 years.
Wrong time.
Wrong time.
Well, your complaint alleges that she assaulted you at a blackjack game?
Yes.
You were injured?
Yes.
And you admit that you did it?
Yes.
So I guess you're going to tell me what, if any, are the mitigating circumstances. Two nice people. So tell me about this blackjack game. You've been playing for 8 years with the defendant and 20 years with some other ladies. How many people are in this game?
Approximately about 10.
And you meet at somebody else's house all the time?
Different people's houses.
And they provide the food and the stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Sort of like a little party.
Okay, so go. Tell me about this evening.
Okay, on 11/11, which was on a Monday, we were playing and Barbara was dealing. And the cards, they wasn't going to get to me. So I asked my friend Josie to bet $10 on her hand. So Josie was going to bet 25 and she changed it to 35. Barbara had $70. So the first lady bet 10. And the second lady bet 35, and Barbara says there's $25 left. So anyway, Barbara won everything. And when we got ready to pay off, she said, I bet 20. And I says, well, I didn't bet but 10 on her hand. And she says, you bet 20. I says, I didn't bet but 20. Don't you holler at me, you know. My voice did escalate, you know. And so when I paid the 10, and so hour and a half lapsed. So another lady was betting, and she hit 12 with the 4.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I assume that you know what you're
trying
talking
to get
about.
close to 21, okay? She hit 12 with the 4. She turned all 3 of her cards over, and then she says, hit me again, so she busted. So I told the other lady, I says, you hit too much. And so I was speaking to the other lady, but Barbara asked me, she says, do you have a hand? So I just told her,
What does that mean, do you have a hand?
Do I have a hand, you know, 2 cards? And I told her, no, I have 2, you know. So she went on to herself, you know, and this is an hour and a half later. So then I turned to give another friend of mine $10 to get some cigarettes up by Inglewood Cemetery. They're a little cheaper. And as I turned my head, Barbara, she comes over and she cold cocks me, you know.
What does that mean?
She apparently put both her hands together and, you know, hit me on the side of my head. And I hit the floor. I was dazed from like 20 to 30 seconds. Blood came out of my nose. I had a scar up here, up over my eye. And I didn't know that I was in as bad a shape as I was until I had to go to the hospital. I spent 12 hours over at Martin Luther King, and they gave me 4 shots. I had to have eye drops. They had to redilate my eyes twice. I had to have a CAT scan. And back and forward to the doctors for about 8 or 9 days.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so we were playing blackjack, as you said, and when I call my bets, I always repeat my bets and lay my money, you know, as I deal the cards out. And if she had to bet the $20, they should have corrected me before I finished dealing the hands out. And so after they didn't correct me, so I felt all the bets were correct, and I blackjacked, and I went to collect my money as I had it laid down, which Edna said I had $70, but I had another $50 on the table, which got mixed up into the bank. And we started arguing, and she kept hollering and screaming at me, and I asked her, you know, not to holler and scream at me, and I wasn't her child, and, you know, one thing led to another. And so my husband told me, you know, stop arguing. You can't win arguing. And,
But she really only had $70. 10.
Just a second. She's getting to the which I'm finding, which is getting closer to where we're at.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. Edna Pittman says she was in a heated blackjack game with her friend Barbara Washington. A wrong card here, a money mistake there, and Edna says she was decked.
Get to punching her.
okay. So I said to Edna, Edna, you don't have a hand.
You said, do you have a
nothing
hand?
to.
Edna.
I said, you don't have a hand. You have nothing to say. And so I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Mary. I said, but Edna, you don't have a hand. And then that's when she threw her hands up in my face. Matter of fact, I got two hands.
I never said a matter of fact.
You did. You did.
Listen. Shh. Edna. Look over here.
All right.
Go ahead.
So
she threw your hands up and
she threw her hands up in my face and said, matter of fact, I got two hands. And when she threw her hands up in my face, I hit her.
You hit her.
I mean, Your Honor, okay, let me explain this to you, okay?
Okay.
This matter is not, it hadn't just started with Edna and I, okay? This started a few years back. We've been feuding over little things. She's, she's done little nasty things to me, and one time I came to the blackjack game and we had been gambling all weekend, and I had on these same clothes from Friday night, you understand? And this was Sunday. And so when I walked in, the game, she says to me, didn't you have on those clothes? I mean, honest, I didn't mean to hit her, but she was aggravating me. And it was, I'm sorry I hit her. I never deny hitting her, but...
And I was on state disability during that time. I just had surgery on this side of my ear. They had just removed the stitches 4 days prior to this.
I didn't hit you in your ear.
You hit me on the side, okay?
Well, okay, I don't know what.
I had to hold my glasses on my face to drive.
Have you ever assaulted anybody before?
I mean, I had a fight with...
Quite a few people.
What have you done? You pull guns after this.
Really? Hey! Should have put one on you.
No.
Ladies,
you couldn't get through.
Listen, I asked that question, and to be perfectly honest with you, I expected you to say, no, this never happened to me before. But clearly you got a temper.
Yeah, I mean, we all do. We're gambling.
Well,
She's ready to rule.
But you know, Bob, that you are responsible if you lost your temper and assaulted her. She was clearly injured. How much are you requesting?
I had asked for $5,000.
And how much?
Here are my medical reports. They're in the order that I was at the hospital.
You were already going to the hospital sick in the first place.
Well, all of those are the medical reports of everything, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Well, I would like to see the medical reports of just this.
Ladies.
You're not playing cards now, you're just fighting. I just want to see the medical reports of this injury.
That's what, all of those of
just the injury.
That injury.
Okay. Barbara, let me explain something to you. In this kind of situation, when you assault someone who has a pre-existing injury, you're responsible if whatever you do exacerbates that pre-existing injury. And from what these reports indicate, she had had some previous surgery on that side of her face. And what you did not only caused her injury as a result of your directly assaulting her, but it exacerbated this previous injury that she had had that was just a few days before. So you are responsible for that. In this case, her previous injury goes to the measure of damages. So I don't believe that the $5,000 that she's requesting based upon this is too high an amount, and I am awarding her $5,000. If you can't play nice, don't play at all. It's a game. And if you're not having a good time playing the game, it seems to me you should take up something else. Bee quilting or quilt being or whatever they do with quilts. Thank you.
Parties are excused. Me step out.
Judge,
Please.
Tom Fitzgerald is suing his son Jeffrey for tools and money, but it's really about a family torn over another son's death.
Order, all rise. Yeah, this is number 32 on the calendar in the matter of Fitzgerald versus Fitzgerald. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated.
Mr. Fitzgerald Sr.,
Right.
I'd like you to tell me, sir, why you are suing your youngest son for $5,000.
Well, it's the money that I loaned him while he was, after he got out of college.
How long ago was
back
this?
While he was in college, Social Security paid a disability to him that I was contacted by Social Security that he had dropped out of college and I owed them.
How long ago was this, Mr. Fitzgerald?
It must have been 10 years ago.
Why sue him now, sir?
Why, I'm suing him for everything I've given him, all the way from the time he become 21.
How old are you?
34.
Order.
Mr. Fitzgerald, something precipitated your suing your son now after 10, 12 years. From your complaint, it says that he stole some tools. The tools that were yours. He says the tools were given to him by his brother, your oldest son, who died recently. And then you're also suing him for this money that you say you loaned him a decade ago. Tell me about these tools.
Well, these loans didn't happen. They happened over a period of a decade. I mean, even up to, I've made real big, I was generous to him at Christmas time and different things like that.
Well, generous to him at Christmas time isn't a loan, Mr. Fitzgerald. So
Oh,
you're
I
angry.
realize that, but I've been more than generous to him. But when he come to me and asked me for money, I was there to give it to him.
Okay, that's what parents do for children.
What?
That's what parents do for children. No matter how old they are, when they need money, you usually give it to them.
Yeah,
And if
but
it's a
when you
loan,
tell them ahead of time, I'm giving you this because I expect you to return it to me. I was on disability at Social Security at the time.
Mr. Fitzgerald, which particular loan did you say that he agreed to repay?
Every one.
Well, give me an example, sir. You're standing there.
When he went to Hawaii after the wife and I come back from Europe in '83.
Yes.
All right, since then, when they got married, he asked me for another $500 so he could take his wife on a trip over to Hawaii again.
That's 14 years ago.
I don't know how long he's been married.
Well, you said it was in '83. We're now in
No, well, he
1997.
got married after that again.
Well, which marriage was it? In '83 that you're talking about?
I'm
You said it
talking
was-
about both times he went to Hawaii.
Mr. Fitzgerald, without documentation of loans over a 10 or a 12-year period of time, sir, it's very hard for a court.
Well, let me explain this to you. I don't expect to collect any of this money.
That's what I thought. Now, what I'm trying to get at is why you're here.
Because he stole the tools out of my garage while I was in Ireland burying my son's ashes.
Tell me about it.
Well, when my son died of AIDS on May 30th, doctors told me I had to get away from there because I had even been in a charter hospital. I was grief-stricken. My wife has Alzheimer's disease. And my grandson has turned, he's autistic, is that what they call it?
Autistic?
Right. And my brother had a massive stroke. My brother-in-law died and my aunt died. And I had everything hit me all at once. So when they, the social worker from the Fountain Valley Hospital asked for me to be incarcerated. And they put me on, what, I got 50-12 or something like that. That was a number that I was incarcerated for 6 days under lock and key because they thought I was a menace to myself or anybody else.
Was that recently, sir?
Oh, that was a year ago, October, I think it was.
So when your son died, that was your oldest son who died of AIDS.
Right.
And these tools that you're talking about, with tools that your youngest son here says that were really a gift from your oldest son to him before he died.
They weren't. He didn't even go to visit my oldest son.
Could I see you both up here for a minute? Sounds to me like you've had a lot of tragedy.
Oh, I have. I've had more tragedies past year than I've ever had in my life.
How many kids do you have?
I have 2 boys left and a girl in Chicago.
You're the baby.
Yes, I'm the youngest.
Looks like a nice young man.
Well, I thought so until he shut me out of his life.
You know, sometimes things happen in your life. You've had a lot of stress with your wife. Had a lot of stress. How long was your oldest son ill with AIDS?
He was only ill about 4 months because by the time I found out he had
Just a second.
what do you
Better
call-
keep them.
what do you call it? HIV.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's already had it. Must have been had it 8 years or something like that. Because my daughter said that's full time. That's full blown AIDS.
Was he living with you at the time he died?
Yes, he was living with me to help me get through my grief.
So he was helping you.
Right.
How old are you, sir?
70.
You don't understand what this is all about. Or do you?
If you're talking about the age
I'm talking
thing?
about the whole thing. Why your father would bring you to court.
Oh, well, I think I do.
Do you think that there's any way that you two can patch it up?
Yeah, I just want to, all I want to do is get a little respect for that's due me. And for him just not to ignore me. He doesn't even answer my calls and things like that. But when he took the tools, that was the key. So
Tools are really not so
I
important.
realize that.
Okay, good. So,
Well, it's a two-way street.
it sounds to me like he's sad about you not seeing him and speaking to him.
Excuse me. He hasn't seen my wife in the past 6 months either. He's never made a trip to go with her.
That's not true.
Well, Mr. Fitzgerald, sometimes kids,
I realize
sometimes
that.
kids, you know, they get involved with their own lives. They have busy things. You have family, sir? You have kids?
Mm-hmm.
You have a job?
Yes.
You know, the one constant that you have is you have a parent and you have a child. As long as you're both alive, it seems to me a terrible tragedy.
I don't have a child. I got my other boy. I don't
Well,
know.
you have a child.
He hasn't even answered the phone. How can you say?
Well, he's going to do that from now on.
Oh, he don't know that.
Well,
I know him for over a period of 35 years.
How about if you try?
What?
How about if you try?
Oh, I tried. I call his house all the time and never get it reported here.
You ready to try?
Yeah, I'd try anything.
Hmm?
I always try.
Seriously?
Yeah?
You know, it sounds like your father has had some difficult times.
Yeah.
And you too?
Yes.
No, burying a child is never easy.
No, it's not.
And your mom is in the hospital. She's got Alzheimer's.
Yeah, she's in a convalescent home.
So, the tail end, the downside of the mountain has not been so easy.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
They tell you ahead of time I was hard of hearing.
Tom Fitzgerald is suing his son Jeffrey for tools and money, but it's really about a family torn over another son's death.
I hate to see parents and children, especially when there has been tragedy in the family, coming to a court when it really isn't about money. It's really, you know, just about a sense of loss, perhaps a sense of feeling that there wasn't enough support from either your father to you or from your son to you. Whatever tools they were, they're really unimportant to you. You have a lot of tools in your house.
Not anymore.
Do you still work, sir?
No. I've been retired on disability for almost 20 years.
Okay, so your son, whatever it is, he's got some tools, and if you don't use them for your business, do you use them for your business?
I use them for work,
Use them for work? Who is this? Is this your wife?
Yes.
How about if I pay for, what time is it? Dinner tonight for the 3 of you. Would you do that?
I'm not a very big eater.
Well, then I don't have to pay much. You go out with your wife, And your father? Talk to him? Yes? Try? He's not going to pursue this matter. Okay? All right, step back. Okay, the Fitzgerald matter is now disposed of. Thank you very much. That's all.
I think she did an excellent job. She smoothed over some things that was not bothering me quite a bit.
It was probably the best for this situation, I guess. Well, only time will tell.
And now, the next case.
Parties on Adam versus Musser. Step forward, please.
William Adams says he and his ex-wife, Shannon Musser, borrowed money from his grandmother to buy a car. She says it's his car, he can keep it, and he can pay for it.
You two folks used to be married.
Correct.
Now divorced.
Correct.
According to your complaint, sir, the defendant, while you were still married, borrowed $2,500 from your grandmother in order to purchase a car. When you separated and divorced, she agreed to assume that debt and to pay your grandmother the $2,500. She didn't pay it. You did. You want the money back.
Correct.
Anything else you want to tell me?
I think that about sums it up.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So, let's hear your side.
Well, I did not borrow the money from his grandmother. He wanted to trade in one of his vehicles and my vehicle to get rid of one of the vehicles so that our car payments would be lower. So he went down and he made arrangements to get a new car. And he made the arrangements with his grandmother to borrow the down payment for the vehicle. I did not. I didn't even want the car. I wanted to keep my car. There was no reason for not keeping my car.
But you agreed to pay this amount. Do you have a judgment of divorce? Does it talk about this $2,500
Yes,
in
I
the
do.
judgment of divorce? Can I see the papers, please?
Is this copy good enough?
Sure.
Okay.
Yep. It's a certified copy by the court. How long were you two married?
4 years, 3 months.
How many days?
Does it matter at this point?
No, it's just that you sort of knew that right away.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
When I could.
William Adams says he and his ex-wife, Shannon Musser, borrowed money from his grandmother to buy a car. She says it's his car, he can keep it, and he can pay for it.
Were you represented by counsel when you were divorced?
No,
Why not?
because supposedly we were divorcing on good terms.
Well, you have a whole agreement here.
I can clarify on that. I can clarify on that, if you'd like.
I probably would have divorced him too.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead. Go. Clarify.
Because of the money situation we were in, I had a little more money than her. So we did do it together. We split the debts up. We agreed to it. That's what we signed. Because of financial reasons, it was easier for me to pay the attorney and just let me default against her. We kind of worked on it together. That way she didn't have to pay respondent's fees and attorney's fees. It saved her about $4 grand.
And you were supposed to take care of all the debts that were under your name. Wells Fargo for Dodge automobile, a medical bill from medical fund, another bill from another medical firm, Chevron, Internal Revenue Service, and Sizes Unlimited.
Correct.
And personal loan with Jacqueline Wright.
Correct.
And I assumed that that personal loan was the $2,500. Is that right?
Correct.
Well, that's what you agreed to.
Yes, I did agree to it.
So you agreed to it. That's what you signed. You got divorced. You got a judgment. The judgment says you have to pay it. So you got to pay it.
Well, unfortunately, I was unable to pay for it because I got pregnant and I had problems with it, with my pregnancy, and I had to quit my job. Therefore, 2 months after I had signed that, I went ahead and claimed bankruptcy because my money got cut in half because of the disability, was not paying me enough. So when I confronted Bill on this, he told me that I was dumb for not putting his grandmother in the bankruptcy. I then the next day called my attorney and he filed an amendment Schedule F to it, which I did then put her in it. And that was the end of the conversation. We had agreed to that. He never told me he was gonna pay it. We didn't never discuss it. He said I was dumb for not putting her into the bankruptcy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Is that right?
I remember the conversation. I said, yeah, if you're listing your debts, list all your debts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's under bankruptcy laws, you have to list all of the debts that you owe. So there again, she signed another court document stating that she owed the money to her.
that is correct.
Well, but first, you see, you told me two different stories so far, Miss Musser. First, you told me that you didn't want the car. It really wasn't your car. It was his car.
Well,
you didn't want the debt. Well, you know, first you told me that story. So that when that didn't wash, now you told me that you don't owe the money because you put his grandmother's name on your bankruptcy that you filed 2 months after you agreed to pay all these bills. I mean, all these bills that you agreed to pay, you didn't pay?
No, ma'am.
Well, that sounds outrageous to me. And I mean, all of these financial burdens came upon you within 8 weeks of you signing this document?
Actually, yes, I had a very hard pregnancy. I was in the emergency room twice within 2 months, and they put me on medical disability. I did not have a choice. I would not have...
Of course you have a choice. Your choice is you call up and you defer the payments of those bills for 6 months, for 8 months.
Nobody was willing to work with me on that.
How do you know that?
Because I did make phone calls.
Did
and
you
I tried
call
to make
his grandmother?
No, I did not.
Well, if you didn't call his grandmother, then I'm not sure that you called anybody else in 8 weeks. And sometimes people go into bankruptcy because they think it's a fast way out of their problems.
No, I don't think that, ma'am.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Before you go into bankruptcy, which negatively affects your credit for a substantial portion of your adult life, you give it more than 8 weeks' worth of consideration, which is, according to you, what you gave it. 8 weeks of consideration. Well, I can't pay this. It's very hard. Things aren't going right for me. I'm going to file bankruptcy, and then I'm going to start all over again. That's not the way it's supposed to work.
I did not file bankruptcy until March of 1996. So it was quite a few months afterwards.
You just told me 2 months later you filed.
I was considering it.
So if you were considering it, then you weren't paying any of these bills, and you didn't pay any of these bills.
No, I continued to pay the bills up until the date I filed bankruptcy.
Did you pay back his grandmother or anything?
No, because we had not made a payment arrangement yet between the two of us.
What kind of payment arrangement?
Well, I don't know. I didn't have $2,500 just to write her a check.
Did you send her $100? Did you send her $200?
No, I did not.
Well, right now.
I didn't have
Can I see the proof that you paid your grandmother, please?
I didn't have 25 either. It took me a year to pay her.
Do you have a child now?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. I assume not his.
No.
You working now?
I just started a job. Yes, I did.
Good. You have to pay back this debt. You owe it, and you have to pay it back. That's what being responsible is. When a marriage dissolves, he took half of the debts, you took half the debts, or I don't know how it was allocated, but you seemed satisfied. You seemed satisfied with it when you signed it. And then, according to you, within a couple of weeks, you just decided, I'm not going to pay. That's unacceptable. It's not the way mature people do business. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. Thank you.
If you're excused, you may step out.